All right. Good morning. This is my third time trying this. We seem to be having a lot of technical difficulties. I don't know what's going on. If this is your first time here, it's 11:11. Yep. Lots of technical difficulties. If it's your first time here, welcome. I do pendulum work, and there's the pendulum. Um, you can ask in the chat a yes or no question, and yep. Hi there. So this is my third time trying this today, but I should say, good morning. I do pendulum work. I try to do it every Sunday. Last 2 weeks has been a little dicey, so I haven't. So you can ask a yes or no question. I don't know why my little mat is so dusty. Ooh, I cleaned it too, but not good enough apparently. Um, so as soon as we get more people on, I'll take some questions. You can ask questions in the chat, yes or no, and yeah, it's usually pretty fun. I'm going to wait a few minutes and I'll start the setup. But if you have a question, jump on into the chat and let me know. Thank you. If no one has any questions, I'm going to just ask the pendulum some random questions, maybe some true crime questions, um, just to start off. Giving it one more minute and then we're going to jump right in. Okay, so I'm going to start off. I have a few questions. I apologize for the mat. I thought I did a better job of cleaning this. I'll do a better job next time. Hi. Bon dale. Hi, Rafael. Bon dia. It's still morning here in New York, so bon dia. I'm assuming you're in Brazil. Um, So weird. Yeah, okay. So now, I don't know. I don't know if anybody's having this problem. And if you do, please let me know. There we go. I was having an issue where I couldn't see the comments, but now I do. Okay, great. Um, if you have any questions, oh, it went away. No. Let me know. What is going on with this? I'm assuming it's some sort of setup. Why does it keep fading away? Okay, so I'm going to start asking questions. Okay. So, first, to set it up, I have to ask it obvious questions. Questions that I know the answer to. So, the first question I'll ask is my name Maciel? Is my name Maciel? And obviously, it says yes. And then I can ask incorrect question like, do I live in California? Do I live in California? Do I live in California? No, I don't live in California. Hi, people. For some reason, the comments are coming up delayed, so I apologize. So, no, I don't know what's going on. I don't know if it's my internet service. I've tried to do this stream 3 times, so if you have a question, I got a question. Okay, I have a true crime question. Any true crime fans out there? I've been thinking about the Black Dahlia, and I actually asked a couple weeks ago if you were watching the stream about her killer. So I want to know if the Black Dahlia's killer is still alive. Is the Black Dahlia's killer still alive? Well, no. I figured as much. Is her killer Steve Holdel? Was her killer Steve Holdel? Was the Black Dahlia's killer Steve Holdel? Let's say yes. So Steve Holdel, if you don't know about the Black Dahlia killer, was suspected because he was a surgeon, a very rich surgeon, and yes, he was a very rich surgeon. Um, he had some sort of romantic connection with her. They also believed that, and I want to know this: Steve Holdel, did he kill other people? And that's a mighty yes, yes. So his son believed that he um, his son believed that his son became a police officer and believed that for the longest time that something that he was a murderer. Um, I'm sorry. Steve Holdel is the son. George Holdel. Did George Holdel kill the Black Dahlia? And that's like yes, yes. Um, so it's George Holdel. My apologies. Um, okay, we got it. He killed her. Was a surgeon, and he knew the Black Dahlia for some reason. And we also want to know, did George Holdel kill other people? Okay, yes. Was George Holdel a serial killer? Yes. That's a yes. So his son Steven was investigating him because he believed his dad did a lot of gruesome crimes. Um, Steven, the son, was a detective with the LAPD, and even though he was a detective and the son of a person who is allegedly a murderer, he's not alive anymore. Um, he had trouble finding information about him. They were very secretive. It's believed that George Hodel um, did a lot of stuff for the LAPD. And exchange, they kind of overlooked, I'm doing air quotes, overlooked his discrepancies, which was to kill people and like dump the bodies. So yeah, like that was his thing. That was his kind of his kink. And I still don't see messages. I'm really today I'm not having a good day on this chat. It seems like it's not telling me anything. I can't even see the message I put down. I don't know what's going on. Yeah, okay. Um so show live. I wonder what that says. Cancel. Um there we go. Uh if anybody has any questions, let me know. I'll try to answer them as quickly as possible. Uh yeah, so we do pendulums. I try to do pendulums every Sunday. I try. And yeah, so if nobody has a question, I'll go through a list of mysteries and questions that I have. So the next one that popped up, I'm doing just a random Google search for unsolved mysteries and questions. Natalie Wood. I want to know. Let's get the pendulum on hot and ready. I want to know if Robert Wagner killed Natalie Wood, because that's something that we still haven't figured out. So Natalie Wood, if you don't know, is an actress from back in the golden days. She played Maria in West Side Story. She's in a bunch of stuff, and she was married to Robert Wagner, who I have right now. I cannot think of one project this man was in. And her last few hours were spent on this boat. Let me put it down. It was spent on this boat with Robert Wagner and, of all people, Christopher Walken. When he was younger, he worked with Natalie Wood, and for the next day they found her dead in the water. I believe she had like a coat on, and they found her body in the water. And they suspect foul play. But I just asked about Robert Wagner. Was Natalie Wood's death accidental? Okay, so she wasn't murdered. It was an accidental death. That's what it says here in the pendulum. So yeah, a lot of people suspected Robert Wagner, who was her husband at the time. They also suspected maybe Christopher Walken's. Did Christopher Walken's kill her? No. So the pendulum just said it's an accident. So I've always found that case really interesting, and I've always, I don't know, she was such an interesting character, and she was in the middle of a movie. So let's see who else. Let's try JonBenet Ramsey. I actually I have a podcast as well, and JonBenet was one of the subject matters. Let's ask who killed her. I hate to be so gruesome. Like, we'll try a couple questions that have nothing to do with murder. So, I'd like to ask the pendulum: was JonBenet Ramsey murdered by her mother? Was JonBenet Ramsey murdered by her mother? That's a no. That's a faint no. Was JonBenet Ramsey murdered by her dad? Was JonBenet Ramsey murdered by her brother? That's a Not sure. Or is it a yes? Was John Renee Ramsey murdered by her brother? Ooh, that's a yes. So, John Benet Ramsey had two brothers, an older, well, she had a brother who lived with her who suffers from autism, and there's been speculation that the brother may have accidentally killed her. Um, I would assume it was just like, I mean, without malice, obviously, and probably like, horsing around and killed her. And instead of the parents just coming out and saying, my son's done this, they covered up for him. There was a lot of, if you've ever watched any documentary on John Benet Ramsey, um, they found the body the next day after they called missing. But one of the biggest, like, sort of kerfuffles with the case was that a lot of people believe, one, that the police department was in on it because, um, they were very rich people living in Boulder, Colorado, and the police department was somehow into it. They were paid off or something. And two, I mean, going back to the police, the police mishandled all the evidence and stuff. But two, the day prior to finding her body, all their friends and family came over, and instead of like closing off the house and having everybody leave, the police instead let them do whatever they wanted. So if there was any traces of evidence or anything in the house that could have been evidence, it kind of was like damage due to these people coming over. So I've always been of the mind that the parents, like, everybody always blamed the parents, that the parents did it. And I've always been of the mind that recently the Sun, not recently, like probably like 2019, the Sun came out and interviewed, and people were like, he was laughing, he was doing this, but I believe his name is Burke. Yes, Burke Ramsey. He did an interview, but I think that was a totally like terrible call because the son suffers from autism. He obviously has some sort of issue, and it's, he was laughing about stuff that he shouldn't be laughing about, and just paint him in a bad light. At this point, I really think the son did it, and he didn't realize what he did, and his parents covered up. That's my kind of take on that. And his mom passed away. Their mom passed away a few years ago. So, trying to think of another great. If you have any questions, please ask in the chat. I don't know what's going on with my chat, though. Let's see. Chat. If you have any questions, let me know. Does anybody watch the show Unsolved Mysteries? So a lot of okay, going back. Does anybody here watch Unsolved Mysteries on Netflix? Because obviously there's been a lot of reincarnations of the show, and one of them is the new one on Netflix. So I'm looking up that, and season 2 had the death of a woman in a hotel in Oslo where people believed that she was a spy, and no one could identify her. They can't figure it out. Years later, her identity, her death, they still don't know what happened to her. It looked like suicide, but some people think that she was executed. So let's ask, because I believe this. Was the woman who died in the Oslo hotel a spy? Was the woman who died in the Oslo hotel a spy? Yes. Yes, she was. That's a heavy yes. So if you don't know the episode, there's a well-known reporter in Oslo um, Norway, who is been obsessed with the death of this particular person, and this mysterious woman who died tragically, and they found her body, they found her stuff in this hotel, but everything was just like very, very stripped down, very sanitary, very like, basically they couldn't figure out who she was. She came in, she had a meal, and then she killed herself, but some people think she was murdered, and so things like this don't happen in Oslo. Um, and yeah, no, it's pretty daunting. But okay. Anybody have a question? Let's see. Comments. Show comments. I can't see any of the comments today. I don't know why. Let's see if that works. Okay, so I guess no comments for today in terms of this one. So we've already asked about John Bonet, Natalie Wood, the Black Dahlia. What about, let's talk about some monsters. I love cryptology. Let's ask about the Loch Ness Monster. Is the Loch Ness Monster still alive? Is the Loch Ness Monster still alive? That's a strong no. I also believe it's possible that the Loch Ness Monster have babies. No. Interesting. So yeah, I did a podcast about the Loch Ness Monster, and um, it seemed to be more proficient in the 40s, the Loch Ness Monster, and how people don't believe it. But let's try other monsters. What about, is Bigfoot real? Is Bigfoot real? Oh yes. I actually thought that was no, but I guess yes. I actually thought that was made up, but I guess yes. Okay, what about a chupacabra? Is the chupacabra real? Is the chupacabra real? Okay, so that's a yes too. Um, I believe that the chupacabra is a government experiment. I don't think it's an alien. Oh, that's a great question. Is the chupacabra an alien? Oh, I personally believe it's not an alien. I think is the chupacabra a government experiment gone wrong? Well, I guess I was wrong. I always thought it was a government experiment happening in Puerto Rico because they do a lot of experiments in Puerto Rico. So for me, hi, Cloud. Cloud, I'm having the worst day today. Will Cloud9 be a billionaire? It's a no. I'm sorry. It said no. It said no. I'm sorry. What about a millionaire? No, you're not gonna be a millionaire or a billionaire, Cloud. Sorry, man. Um, yeah. Any other questions? That was a good one. Um, Cloud9, I'm sorry, you're not gonna be a billionaire. Oh, wait a minute. I want to know. Am I gonna be a billionaire? Will I be a billionaire? No. You'll be a Cloud9. You gonna be a zillionaire? No. No. Yeah. Please, please, please. Will I be a millionaire? Yes. Well, at least I hope so. Um, if there's any random questions you want to ask, you're just moving it though. I swear I'm not. Okay. Am I gonna be a millionaire? Now it's saying rephrase that question. See, it says yes. I could be a millionaire. You could be a low millionaire. I could be a 1 millionaire. I mean, a lot of people who have insurance who put away money, they end up being millionaires. I mean, after they die, of course. Um, so technically, I could be a millionaire. I knew somebody whose insurance was like $1 million. So technically, they're a million. What is the greatest healing tool in the universe? Yes or no questions. I can't, sir, who just asked the question. What is the greatest healing tool? These are yes or no questions, Michael. Let me know. It's good to not limit your dreams. Yeah, totally. Um, you know, there's plenty of ways of becoming a millionaire. And sometimes it doesn't necessarily have to be when you're alive. You can be a millionaire after you die with your insurance and all the collections. So there you go. And you can have $1 million exactly. That's super common. I was actually going to say my brother in law's aunt, um, after she died, she was a millionaire because, with everything that paid out from all her time of working, she had like $1 million from all that time of working, you know. Oh, okay. I can ask. Will apps continue to grow in the future? Yes. That one didn't even, that one wasn't even too, um, too hard. It's definitely going to continue growing in the future. I think like stuff like, I find Twitch to be very, can I even say that name here? Uh, I find Twitch to be very overwhelming as someone who's trying to get into doing more live streams. So I find this app to be a lot more friendly and a lot easier to do. I find Twitch to be so overwhelming. It's so saturated. I mean, not saying there's enough people here, but there is people here, and people seem to be a lot friendlier and willing to engage. For anyone who doesn't know, so excuse my hands, they're gross. When I do the pendulum, I hold on to this little ball at the top, and then I just kind of like let it touch the mat, and I let it go for whatever question. Prior to starting asking questions on the pendulum, if you weren't here at the beginning, I ask a random question like that I know is either yes or no. Like I ask them, what's my name or where I'm located, a yes or no question to get it started. Yes, I do believe that there's a lot more love in this community than in Twitch. I feel Twitch is like, I don't know. I've been on Twitch and I don't like it. I find it to be, like I said, overwhelming, but I also find it to be a little like detrimental, like kind of like how I feel about TikTok. I think TikTok's is a little too toxic for me. I just found another app um, for 17 up called Clapper, which seems to be a better fit for me. I feel like TikTok, there's a lot of young people on it, and it's just like super toxic. Where Clapper, it's more adult oriented, not adult oriented like that way, but like there's people, 17 and older on that app, and I don't know, it seems a lot better. Yeah, so that's how I feel about this app. May you feel loved. Thank you. So, same to you. Same to you. Does anybody have any questions? I'll even take silly questions. Um, if not, I'll continue and I'll look up some questions, and then I gotta go. I have a busy day, but I'd love to ask any questions for anybody. Usually, I do the lives with my TikTok. Funny enough, I mentioned TikTok. Um, but I couldn't find the setup for my phone to do the TikTok lives, and so I'm doing this one. So maybe when I get off this, I'll do some TikToks. If anybody has any more questions, I'm going to do one more question um, for myself, and then I'm going to skedaddle, because I got a long day. Um, so one last question for me is, well, this week, well, okay. Will by Friday will I know about my new apartment. Nice meeting you too, Michael. By Friday will I find out about my new apartment. Sometimes it doesn't. That's a faint yes. It always gives me faint yeses and nos for my questions, my personal questions. Yeah, I guess that's fine. So yeah, I'm gonna try to do lives here with this and other things. I don't know. I like gaming, but I feel like that's kind of oversaturated. I might start an interview series with filmmakers here, which would be fun, or just continue with the pendulum. I was for a minute doing cards as well. We'll see how it goes. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope I answered your question. I'll try to have the map less dusty next time. Thank you so much for stopping by and enjoy